Okay, so we get a lot of questions about processes and procedures. What's the difference between the two? Why do they matter? Why are they important to the business? So we decided to do a video about it. All right. So in this video, we're going to break down processes and procedures. What are they? What's the difference? How do they interact together? What are some examples of each? And how do we make crystal clear documentation for both processes and procedures that's going to really drive value for our organization and our business? So let's dive into it. Okay, let's start with definitions. So, what is a process versus what is a procedure? So, a process is a high level overview of a series of actions or steps taken to achieve a specific goal, meaning it is a usually linear thing that takes place where a series of actions or steps are taken in order to reach a certain endpoint, right? So processes are often broad, they're often linear, they outline a flow of work or tasks that need to be created. A procedure, on the other hand, is a detailed, granular set of instructions that outlines how to perform a specific task within a process. So, generally, if a process is a series of steps that are taken, a procedure is actual granular instructions on how to complete one of the steps in that process. Procedures are more specific, they're more action oriented. They are including often step by step instructions or bulleted lists. The goal of them is to eliminate variability and get people to consistently perform a set of actions. So you're thinking, okay, kid, what you said makes sense. That's great. But what are the actual differences between the two? Well, it's pretty simple. Processes are at a higher level, right? And they're describing a broader path. Procedures are more detailed and more specific. So, one of the best analogies that I can think of to come up with this is when you plug in somewhere that you want to go in the GPS in your car or on your phone using Apple or Google Maps, whatever, right? When you do that, it initially shows you routes. It'll be like a huge, if you're driving across the country, right? It'll be this huge map and it'll show you some optimal, some like routes, right? So it'll show you if you want to go from Tulsa, Oklahoma to Denver, Colorado, there's three different routes that you can take and you can see how those play out on the map. So that you can think of as a process. It's the high level route that you take to get somewhere and it shows you a picture of the whole pathway. Then you hit start on your GPS and you start driving, and now you get take exit 14 onto I 35, turn left at the stop sign. You get those specific directions. That is the procedure. That is the very specific step by step path that you get to follow the process appropriately. Okay, so let's revisit what a process is. Process is a high level overview of a series of steps that need to be taken to reach a certain end. On the screen, I have a example of a process map, which is generally how you document processes. Process maps, there are different levels of process maps. I have a video on that. Go check that out if you want to see that. But process maps are higher, regardless of the level of the process map, they are less granular than a procedure, right? And what they do is they depict the series of steps that something goes through in order to reach a certain end. This is a anonymized version for correspondent lending in the financial services sector, but really you can have a process map on anything. But what you can see as you get into this is it's relatively granular, right? You're talking about certain steps that are being taken, but I'll give you the example of like client uploads closed loan package. Well, okay, the correspondent lender has a client, they upload the closed loan package. So that is a step in the process, right? But the process at this level does not get into the granularity of how does a client upload a closed loan package. That is something that a procedure would cover. And this is what a standard operating procedure might look like, right? It's going to be more of a document and it's going to have purpose, scope, stakeholders, and the step by step instructions, including screenshots, that are going to outline how you specifically perform a task, right? So we talked about uploading clothesline package in the step, right? So this would be the next level down. This would be the step-by-step instructions of you click here in this screen, you go here, you do this, you do that. This is, in theory, a procedure should allow somebody who has the right access but has never done the process before to be able to follow the procedure and correctly perform that step in the process. That is the standard for a good procedure. Is that somebody who's never done it before but has some background knowledge in the right process could successfully perform that step without any further instruction beyond the procedure. That is the detailed level of a procedure. Okay, hopefully you learned some good information about processes versus procedures and the type of documentation that you cover them. Hopefully you walked away with something valuable from this video if you made it all the way to this point. Really appreciate you watching. If you like this type of content, let us know. Comment, like, subscribe at Brewster Consulting Group on YouTube, brewsterconsulting.io out on the web. We try to produce valuable content where people can learn about data analytics, processes, procedures, training, documentation, a lot of things that are going to help your organization, especially small and mid-sized businesses out there. Or if you're early in your career and you're trying to learn some new skills, great place for that as well. So like and subscribe. Really appreciate y'all. If you have any questions, hit us up in the comments. Thanks.